Good morning. My name is Kevin Ye, and on behalf of the tournament committee, we'd like to welcome everybody to the 4th annual Jake Boyle Memorial Golf Tournament. Come on, more applause, more applause. I wanted to start off by sharing with everybody what the goals of the tournament are. And every year when we start the planning process, we have 2 goals in mind. The first one is that we strive to make the quality of the tournament represent the quality of life and the quality of person that Jake was. So for you who have played in the first annual tournament, it was thrown together pretty quickly, pretty roughly, and then of course throughout the course of the second, third, and fourth tournament, you know, we've made some strides to make the quality of the tournament represent the quality of the life and quality of the person that Jake was. So as you make your way around the tournament today in the golf course, we hope that you'll notice some of the additional touches we put into improving the quality of the tournament. You know, we received an email from one of Jake's former coaches, and I think it's a great testament to the kind of person he was, and I'd like to read this email to you. I had the pleasure of coaching Jake. Even though it was only for one summer, I will remember it forever. Jake came to Connecticut to play in the New England Collegiate Baseball League in the summer of 2001. Not knowing anything about his school or him, his coach Paul Benham talked me into taking Jake for the Tides. I'm so happy I took that chance. Jake was a special player, a great teammate, a great friend, and more important, a great young man. Even though it was just for a few months, Jake touched many lives here in Connecticut. As I passed the news on to his former Tides teammates about Jake's passing, the first response after the shock of the news is what a great person and what a hard-nosed player he was. Jake was a throwback kind of player, what the old-timers would call a gamer. Jake was always ready to play, every day, every inning, every pitch. He gave 100% to me that summer, and I will always remember that and respect that. Jake was a big reason for the success of the Tides that summer. We went 24-16, came in second place, and made the NECBL playoffs for the first time in 8 years. There are many memories of Jake from that summer, but the biggest was this. A rainy night late in the summer, Jake delivered a game-winning home run in the 10th inning of a 2-1 victory over Concord. So clutch. The fall after that memorable summer, I talked to Jake. He told me about his tumor and the surgery. When I asked him if he knew during the summer, he said yes, but he didn't want to miss out on the opportunity to play in the NECBL and for me. Well, after hearing that, my respect for him climbed to new heights. I couldn't believe what he told me. He played that whole summer with the tumor, and I never heard anything about it. No complaints, nothing. As I said before, gamer. If you know baseball, I think that is one of the greatest compliments you can pin on a player. Jake loved the game, his teammates, and life. The 2001 Tides, a small bunch of guys who only knew each other for a few months of a memorable summer, will forever respect, miss, and admire a great friend, great teammate, and great young man. I will forever remember Jake and his teammates for giving me a summer I will never forget. Thanks, Jake. Mike Susi, former manager of the 2001 Eastern Tides. So I think that was a great testament to the type of person that Jake was, and of course, our goal, which we'll never meet, is to try and make this tournament match the quality of the words spoken in that email. The second goal of the tournament was always, of course, to raise funds and contribute to causes that Jake himself contributed to and believed in. I'm proud to say that those of you who were at the third annual tournament last year, that this golf tournament contributed to raising over $50,000 donated to Penn State Erie to set up the Jake Boyle Scholarship Fund. And now that we've hit that $50,000 mark, it's a self-funding scholarship. So as long as Penn State Erie is an academic institution, there will be a scholarship in Jake Boyle's name. Since we met that goal, we wanted to take on an additional endeavor this year, and partnering with the Penn State Erie Athletics Department, we've set up the Jake Boyle Endowment Fund for Athletics, supporting, of course, the baseball program there, which Jake played on and certainly holds most of the offensive statistical records still. It goes to support the tennis program, which Angela was a part of and a captain at the Penn State Erie tennis team, and any other needs that the Penn State Athletic Department might have. So while we'll contribute to the academic scholarship, we're also taking on the goal of raising $25,000 over 5 years to donate to the athletic department at Penn State Erie. I want to say a few things about the reception afterwards. We are having it at a separate location this year. I do want to say thank you to Chris and Megan Murphy, who hosted the tournament for the first 3 years. They recently had their first baby, so we had to move locations. So congratulations to them, and thank you for hosting the tournament. We will have food and drink, and as a nice addition, we will have childcare services this year. So you parents with kids, please feel free to bring your kids. There will be an auction and a prize, and we will be having a special ceremony at the reception. I certainly think it'll be the highlight of the weekend, and I think it'll trump anything I had to say up here or the event today. So if you can, I'd encourage everybody to attend the ceremony and the post-tournament reception. I want to say a few thanks. First of all, of course, to all the participants here today. Without you guys, of course, this tournament couldn't happen. So we've had people travel from near and far, When I say near, I mean they live on the golf course, and when I say far, I mean we've had people flying from California. So thank you to all the participants who are playing here today. I want to thank our sponsors, and certainly they are a key element of our financial fundraising. So as you make your way around the course today, we've highlighted all our sponsors at the tee box of each hole. So if you get the opportunity to do business in the industries that they participate in, we'd certainly encourage you and appreciate your support of our sponsors. A primary sponsor I want to thank is Newell Rubbermaid. For the third year in a row, they've agreed to be the primary sponsor for the tournament. And on behalf of Newell Rubbermaid, I'd like to have Quentin Meisenheimer come up and say a few words. Quentin is our Vice President of Human Resources at Rubbermaid.
Hey, good morning, everybody. We look forward to this first Saturday in May every year, and we're honored to sponsor the tournament every year, and we're going to continue to do that. For those of you who've heard this story, I'm going to tell the story again because I think it's appropriate. I remember when I came into the Rubbermaid specific business 6 years ago in February, one of the first days that I was in Worcester, we were walking through Worcester and just trying to get a feel for what was up there. And we walked into the test lab, and there was a young engineer in the test lab working, and obviously working very hard. And when we moved on our tour, I said, who was that engineer in the test lab? And it was Jake. And one of the things we did back then was we tried to encourage as many people to come to Huntersville with us as we made that move as we could. And Jake was one of the ones that we wanted to come with us, and we made him an offer, and he came. And we were very excited to have Jake with us in the Rubbermaid business here. And I love listening to the email from the coach because Jake was the kind of guy you wanted on your team, whether it was in baseball or whether it was in the R&D team at Rubbermaid. He was one of the people that you wanted on your team. I remember we had a winter here, and in North Carolina, it's not the same as Pennsylvania or Ohio, where a bunch of folks are from, but we had a winter storm, or at least in North Carolina standards, a winter storm, and a lot of people, probably 70% of the Rubbermaid food team at the time, didn't make it in. But Jake made it in, even when he couldn't drive, even when he couldn't see very well, even when he was struggling and fighting for his life. Jake was at work that day. And that's a testament to the kind of person that Jake was and the character he had. So really on behalf of Newell Rubbermaid, we're proud to be the sponsor, really pleased to see everybody out here. Angela, to you, to your family, to the Boyle family, welcome back, and you're always welcome here. You're always part of our family. And I share a birthday with Jake. There are about 4 of us from that Rubbermaid food team that all share the same birthday. It's a special day. So have a great time today. And Jake, we love you and miss you.
The last thank you we want to extend, of course, as Quentin mentioned, is to the Boyle and Albertson families. It goes without fail that every year when we're starting to plan for the tournament, Angela comes up to us and says, if this becomes too much of a burden or too much work, please feel free, don't feel the pressure to do it. And it goes without fail that at the reception tonight, the Boyle family will come up to the tournament committee and say, if this becomes too much of a hassle or too much of a burden, please don't feel the pressure to do it. Our response, of course, is that for many of us, this is the best time of the year. So please don't take that honor away from us. So we're happy to do it. It's our honor and our pleasure to coordinate the tournament. So to the task at hand, the golf tournament today. It is a scramble format. Everybody's probably familiar with it, but everybody gets a tee off from the tee box. You as a team decide where that best ball is, and you play the next. Everybody plays from that same spot all the way to the hole. We do have 2 long drive and 2 closest to the pin holes. They're outlined in your scorecard. The 2 closest to the pin, of course, are very standard, very familiar to everybody. We have 1 standard long drive contest and then 1 Jake Boyle long drive contest. Jake was born a right-handed person, but he swung a baseball bat and he swung a golf club left-handed. So at that hole, I think it's hole number 4, you actually get 2 opportunities to tee off. One with your opposite swing, which will have a left-handed club out there for most of the right-handed players. And if you're right-handed, you'll be able to, if you're left-handed, you can borrow a teammate's right-handed club and see how far you can hit the ball like Jake could. The tournament this year, men will tee off from the blues. Women have the option to tee off from the whites. One more note about the reception is that if you're not familiar with where the Havana Social Club is, for the people who are local, it's right across from the Galway Hooker. And if you're from out of town, we do have directions which we'll keep at the bag drop if you need directions to get to the reception. When you're done with your round, please hold on to your scorecards. We'll ask you to bring those to the reception as well. And then the one piece of feedback we got from the tournament